Hey, welcome back to Korea Economy Unpacked. Today we're diving into a big story from the Korean financial press.
Yeah, and it's a rough one today.
It really is. We are pulling data directly from the Korea Exchange, and the Seoul Economic Daily is basically calling it Black Tuesday.
Exactly. I mean, imagine you and I are just grabbing coffee, you open the paper, and boom, it's just an absolute bloodbath.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because when you look at the raw data, the scale of the panic is staggering. We saw the KOSPI plunge exactly 452.22 points.
Wait, really? I saw the index flashing red this morning, but a 7.24% drop,
Yeah,
closing at 5,791.91.
that is the official close. And the ripple effect there means a massive 376.9397 trillion won in market cap just evaporated in a single day.
I can't even wrap my head around that. Almost 377 trillion won gone.
Right, and it wasn't just the main board. The tech-heavy KOSDQ also fell 4.62%, down to 11,137.70.
So basically, if the broader market is hurting that badly, the big flagship companies that anchor Korea's economy must have been crushed.
They took the heaviest hits. Look at Samsung Electronics. It fell 9.88% to close at 195,101.
Ouch. Losing that symbolic 200,001 mark is a huge psychological blow for investors.
It really is. And SK Hynix, even steeper.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they dropped 11.50% down to 939,001, breaking right below the critical 1,000,001 threshold.
Huh. It's wild to think these massive tech giants are just falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
But what is the actual trigger here? Is there something bigger happening globally?
That makes sense when you look at the macro picture, specifically the geopolitical crisis in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Based on international reports, Iran is heavily utilizing what's called a swarm tactic.
Ah, right. Deploying waves of extremely cheap drones.
Exactly. The goal is to overwhelm and exhaust the highly expensive interceptor missiles used by the U.S. and Israel.
Wow.
And the situation is escalating fast. There was recently a drone strike on the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia. Keeping strictly to the facts of the conflict, U.S. President Donald Trump publicly warned this could take 4 to 5 weeks or longer.
That adds so much uncertainty.
Adding to the urgency, the U.S. State Department issued a travel warning urging citizens to immediately exit 14 Middle Eastern countries.
Okay, that is intensely serious for the region. But how does a conflict involving drones translate to hundreds of trillions of won vanishing in Seoul? Is it just the fear of oil prices spiking?
That energy reliance is exactly what triggers the next domino, the currency market. Iran has explicitly threatened to block the Strait of Hormuz, a massive global oil choke point.
Right.
Because of that threat alone, May Brent crude on the ICE futures exchange spiked to over $80 a barrel.
And since Korea relies so heavily on imported energy to power its entire economy, any spike in global oil benchmarks sends an immediate shockwave through the local currency.
That structural vulnerability is the key insight here. The $1 exchange rate spiked by 26.41, closing at 1,466.11.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. When global energy risks soar and the local currency weakens that sharply, foreign capital runs for the exits.
And they ran fast. According to the data, foreign investors panic sold 5.1803 trillion won in KOSPI stocks in just one day.
Incredible volume.
That is the second largest foreign sell-off ever recorded.
And it didn't stop there. Over a 2-day period, they dumped a total of 12.2615 trillion won. They were aggressively offloading Korean assets.
What's fascinating here, though, is the counter-reaction. While foreign capital was sprinting away, everyday domestic retail investors stepped right into the fire.
Yeah, they really did.
They bought up 5.8239 trillion won, trying to defend the index.
Which totally shifts the narrative. You have everyday folks stepping in front of historical institutional selling pressure. It leaves you wondering, with everyday retail investors scooping up nearly 6 trillion won in a single day of panic selling, are they catching a falling knife or buying the dip of a lifetime while foreign capital flees?
All right, that's our deep dive on the market's Black Tuesday for today.
We'll catch you next time with more stories from the Korean economy.
Thanks for tuning in to Korea Economy Unpacked. See you soon.